Hey everybody, welcome to our OCS Top 16 coverage. I am Dan Tartaglione, also known as DTartag1. Tonight we have the first game of our OCS playoffs. It is going to be game one of Justin Branch versus Jeff Lavigne, Silverglen versus Treadwell. I know that Justin is the higher seed, so he'll be picking the side. Looks like he is going to go with Dark Side to start off. And honestly, I'm not sure what he's playing. So let's go ahead and get into it. The players are ready. The table is set. So let's go ahead, get into it, and see how this goes. Game one, Jeff Lavigne versus Justin Branch. Again, Justin is going to go with Dark Side. Jeff playing Light Side. ISB Operations versus Quiet Mining Colony. A little bit of surprise from Jeff. Haven't seen him really play it, at least in person. However, this is a game that I actually like the Quiet Mining Colony player a little bit more. ISB is known for controlling the field, being able to reduce drains. As the QMC player, wherever you have an alien on Bestman, you can't really do that. However, Justin is going to go with Establish Control V, Imperial Arrest Order, and Imperial, I can't think of the name, Enforcement V. Jeff is going to play Computer Interface V to get both Belden's Eye combo, Belden's Eye and All My Urchins, and then keeping an Empire out forever. So here we go, game one. Jeff with QMC, Justin, ISB. Justin starting off with Imperial Command. I'm assuming he's either going to pull... He's going to pull an Admiral Ozzel. Not a bad start. It's a really strong card. Deploys for free. ISB Agent. Only issue is he's a Deploy 0. Or only issue is... I stand corrected. He's a Destiny 0 card. Activates 5. He gets 2 from himself, going with the Coruscant Imperial Square. Going to get himself a docking bay as well. Probably going to be the Executor docking bay or a Coruscant docking bay. Taking his time to see what's in his deck. Okay, this is going to be our game one of the top 16. We got a loaded field this year, as always. There's the Coruscant docking bay for Justin. Going to use Establish Control, get himself out Corlog or Fondor. There's Corlag. So probably not going to see a big blue variant of this one. I know Mike Kessling ran a big blue variant back in, I believe, at Worlds and then the European Championships. So, and then I know Chris Kelly played a version of ISB at the Coruscant Regionals a couple weeks ago. Oh, thank you, Mike. I'm going to get it so that big Haze Hunter does not show up again. There. Somebody is messing with my settings. Okay, Admirals are going down to the Coruscant docking bay. ISB is a big favorite here. I mean, I can see it being that he has the spies. If Jeff goes down and just stacks the one site, he can get in a lot of damage. I mean, you're not able to reduce the drains with ISB. So, but Bill's saying, that is a good point. Justin playing Corlag there allows Jeff now to run away from Bestman, so he doesn't necessarily have to hold the system. Good point, Bill. Jeff does pull out his Harksef V and the Overseer. Justin goes ahead and gets Grand Admiral Thrawn V. Jeff pulls out a sight. There's the West Gallery. Harksef and the Overseer coming down. It's going to give him some more activation as well. Again, Justin's getting activation off of the established control. ISB does play the best card in the game. Tarkin's Bounty. Carl saying in the chat that ISB plays the best card in the game, Sergeant Carl. He's pretty good. I mean, I actually like Sergeant Carl, the ability to cancel a game text and just give them full immunity. It can be really good. Really good against like Luke Skywalker, Rebel Scout. If you want to target him with a weapon, you don't have to worry about his +1 cost. Anybody that has a... I mean, while you're giving full immunity, like a game text like Lando Calrissian Smuggler or Scoundrel, he's pretty good. Like canceling his ability to add another Destiny is not bad. Okay, go into Justin's next turns. There's the new Palpatine Galactic Emperor going down to Coruscant. There's Battle Order. Joe in the chat saying that Bill doesn't know what he's talking about, saying that QMC is favored here. Initially, like I said, I agree with Joe, but I mean we could see something different from Justin, and I know that Joe and Jeff are teammates. Maybe we can get some insight from Joe here. On what made Jeff play QMC. Were you guys expecting ISB? And here we go from Jeff. Jeff going to go out and get the North Corridor, as well as Calfal Syndros. Ray going down as well. That's going to flip Jeff. Not a bad turn 2 for him. Flipping, getting a use pile pull with Ray. Now, again, if you're Jeff here, you got to be worried because Justin has a lot of spies. There's the wild card going down to Bestman as well. Good point. I agree. Nia Nub really hurts the Executor. Cloud City Celebration going down as well. Calfal Syndros shuttles up to the wild card. Not a bad turn for Jeff, setting up the celebration and setting up an extra, getting himself a Battle Destiny up in space. And he does only save 2. So this worries me because Justin has 9 Force saved before he even activated anything. So I don't know. Like, he has the potential to go down against Ray. He has the potential to go down to Bespin. Jeff only saving 1 Force there now. He can't play alternatives to fighting to cancel the fight. So we'll see what Justin's going to do on his turn. In the meantime, this is game 1 of Jeff versus Justin. Later on today, we will have game 1 and game 2 of Tom Struther versus Gavin Ortland. They will be playing both their games at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you guys tune into that. There's the aim high shield from Jeff. Not a bad card to have out on the table against ISB. But again, now we're still in Justin's deploy phase. He deploys the spaceport docking bay down to Korlag. So it gives himself a battleground docking bay. I hear only good players play aim high against ISB. Justin thinking about what he wants to do here. Again, both players have a lot of time. We are only on turn 3. Although Justin is taking a little bit of time with this turn, giving himself some options. I think if you're Justin here, being that Jeff only has 1 force left, that tells me that he doesn't have multiple barriers. Okay, here we go. Isard going down in front of Ray. No barrier, no response yet. She will come down for 5 force as Jeff does control the Bestman system. Mara Jade in the VT-49 Decimator. Going down to Korlag. Interesting. Jeff plays Do or Do Not in response to maybe a sense, being that there is the Emperor on the table. Colonel Wolf Yularen going down as well. Justin with 3 ISB agents currently on the field. So he will not get max value for Wolf Yularen. And Grand Admiral Thrawn going down as a pilot on the Decimator. Now that gives Justin an extra battle destiny up there and the ability to use Imperial Command to limit, add in multiple ways. Justin still has 8 force left in his force pile. Interesting to see, again, no Imperial barrier, or I'm sorry, no Rebel barrier from Jeff. However, this is telling me that he has either a dodge or a path of least resistance in his hand to allow himself to get out of this battle. Because I think if you are Justin, I think you will be battling here. I think if Jeff does run away, he's going to run over to the North Corridor. That's kind of the important site. Stormtrooper Cadet going down to the West Gallery as well. Haven't seen a lot of that card in this deck. However, he does come down for free as he deploys for free to the same site as an Imperial Leader. Once per turn, may target a non-unique Imperial Warrior present. Target is power +1 for the remainder of turn. When forfeited at the same site as an Imperial Leader or non-cadet Trooper, also satisfies all remaining attrition against you. There's strategic planning. I don't think that card's going to be really useful. Now, he'll be able to cancel any drains where Rey is because she doesn't have an alien with her. However, everywhere else, once Jeff gets any aliens down, the drain won't be canceled. You won't be able to cancel the drain. You won't be able to modify them. Okay, so there is the fight from Justin. Jeff does Path of Least Resistance Ray away to the North Corridor, and Justin will grab it. So right now, looking like Jeff is going to be draining for 1 and 1 up in space, 1 on the ground, but then he will be able to retrieve 1. Justin does have his Secret Plan shield out to make Jeff pay 1 for that. Justin will use the course on Docking Bay to Docking Bay Transit over to Cloud City. He still does not have any. He still does not have his 4th ISB agent on the table yet. Yeah, I realized that, Joe. As soon as I said it, I'm like, he can still make it -1 with the drain for Ray. Yes. Yeah, well, yeah, that's the point. Who's piloting Mara? That would be Grand Admiral Thrawn Virtual. The Virtual is important. And just for frame of reference, at each Bestman location you control with an alien, your force drains may not be modified or canceled. So he can only strategic reserves the 1 drain with where Ray is. So there's the drain at the North Corridor. Let's see if Justin will use the strategic reserves, putting a Stormtrooper patrol onto it to cancel that drain. So he is only going to lose 1 force this turn. Being that Jeff has no lost pile right now, he's not going to be able to retrieve anything with the Cloud City Celebration. But I don't think you're really complaining about that. Justin loses a Dark Tide for the Rebellion and Tarkin's Orders off the top of his deck. Little curious. I mean, he's got a 6-card hand. He does have 5 cards saved in his force pile. You would think that, I mean, we did see him draw a few. I think he drew 2, so he didn't get an ISB agent. I mean, I would have. He possibly could have threw 1 down to the lost pile and then gotten it back on his turn. That's a good point, Jeff or Joe. I really didn't want to get into it until he played it, but thank you, Joe. Joe Olson, everybody, our 2-time world champ, Hall of Fame member, and he was on the most recent episode of Holo Theater. Again, Holo Theater coming to you live every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. This Thursday, however, we're going to be going live at 8 p.m. to stream Drew Lichtenstein versus Michael Pistone. Both of their games at 8. Game 1 will be at 8. Game 2 will be right after. I will have a co-host. It will be Mike Kessling. So that's going to be a fun little thing. Wow. There we go. That's better. Yeah, Menace Fate's coming down for Jeff is a really big turn. There's Din Djarin now. Now Justin can't cancel or modify those drains. Lando coming down as well. And on top of that, if Jeff he can cancel drains on Cloud City with the North Corridor. There's the Ancient Watering Hole. He currently only has the 3 aliens, though. So again, Joe, did you guys put Justin on ISB? Again, Joe Olson, a teammate of Jeff Lavigne. Jeff drawing up some cards, refilling his hand here. I know that ISB is a deck that Justin Branch he does like. Ancient Watering Hole is not in effect yet, Chris. Okay, so we do go into Justin's turn. He does start us off by draining at core lag. Again, Jeff is going to have to lose some force here. Unfortunately for Justin, with Menace Fates on the table, and being that he's on the 0 side of the objective, he doesn't get any of the drain bonuses that usually come with ISB operations. Jeff going to lose Out of Commission and Transmator Terminated from his hand. That's a good card against Hunt Down and Destroy the Jedis. Joe's reporting that ISB was in Justin's range. He recently played Walkers. So I think QMC is, again, a pretty good deck against Walkers. So Jeff loses his Escape Pod and We're Doomed from his hand as well. And then he's going to cancel the next drain with the North Corridor. So Jeff only losing 2 cards, and then he's going to get them, one of them back with Cloud City Celebration, unless Justin has an answer here. Again, Justin is still in his control phase. We do see only 3 ISB agents on the table for him. Moves into his deploy phase, checks out his deck, looking for another docking bay. He misses on the docking bay. That will allow Jeff to get a free verify from his deck. Jeff, content on what he sees, hands his deck back over to Justin virtually. And Justin will allow Gemp to shuffle up his reserve deck. Again, with Justin only having 6 cards in hand, as Joe alluded to earlier, we could see a Tarkin V coming down to refill Justin's hand. And being that Jeff he only has 1 card saved. He can't play Path of Least Resistance here. This might be the moment, if you're Justin, that you want to go and drop down some guys on Rey, Din Djarin, and Lando. Now, Jeff will be getting 2 Destinies there, and he will get a shot with Lando with Blaster Pistol, though. He does get a 2nd Destiny with Din Djarin, as Din Djarin is currently with an alien. Oh, and a 3rd Destiny because of Lando with Blaster Pistol, as Lando gets an extra Destiny on Cloud City, if he's with an alien. So thank you, Bill. You would think I would recognize that, because that is a card that one of my teammates, Batmouse, likes to play in his QMC. But he hasn't been playing a lot of QMC, so I blame Batmouse. Again, Justin is thinking about what he wants to do here. 3 Destiny now, at this point, isn't really anything to sneeze at. QMC's Destiny can be average. I would say it's not like a high Destiny deck like a Hunt Down or He is the Chosen One. And it's not a low Destiny deck like I'm trying to think of a deck that just... Court of the Vile Gangsters. It tends to be a low Destiny deck because you play a lot of characters. Okay, here we go. He deploys a Stormtrooper Patrol right from his strategic reserves down to Bespin. Again, they cost 4 force because Jeff controls the system. However, Justin is flipped. There's a Sergeant Elsk going down as well. So not only is this a turn where this might cost Justin a little bit of force here, just because he's throwing all these characters down to Bespin when each of them costs 1 more. Okay, Corporal Obrick goes down, and there's a rebel barrier from Jeff. Let's see. So he barriers Obrick, as he really doesn't do anything. However, Elsk is the issue. When forfeited at the same site as another biker scout, he satisfies all remaining attrition and battle damage against you. There's Agent Callus going down. So that's going to get Justin an extra battle destiny, as Callus is with an ISB agent. So, funny enough, the Stormtrooper Patrol is an ISB agent. Yes, Jeff did play. They're tracking us to activate a force. He takes Masterful Move off the top and puts Colonel Wolf Yularen on to the top of his use pile. But again, he's only got 5 cards left in his force pile. And Tarkin going down for 5 force. Again, that will re-up his hand by 3 more cards, but can't do any. Oh, he can initiate for free. But unfortunately, we're not going to see any extra characters. We're not going to see any other biker scouts. So Elsk is kind of useless at this point. Tarkin is currently with 2 other ISB agents, so he will be able to either cancel a battle destiny or a weapon destiny, or I believe it's any destiny during a battle. But action is on Jeff at this point as he thinks about what he wants to do. So we unfortunately don't. So he hasn't done anything in response to the Tarkin being deployed. So again, Justin will be able to draw 3 more cards once Jeff has his response. Jeff does pass action, and Tarkin now draws Justin some cards. He goes from 3 cards in hand back up to 6. But again, he does not have a force pile, so I don't know if he can really do much this turn. Now, the nice thing is, Jeff's only going to be draining for 1 on his next turn, being that he does not satisfy Ancient Watering Hole. He currently does not satisfy Menace Fades either. So if you're Justin, I think this is the best course of action for you. You need to essentially take over as many sites as you can, limiting essentially turning off that Menace Fades so you can get some of your drain bonuses in. And we know that he's got a Masterful Move combo in his hand, and I'm assuming that's one of the cards that if you're Jeff, you might consider grabbing in this fight, or in this battle, or in this match, sorry. Okay, so Justin will just pass turn. We do know that he does not have any ISB agents in his lost pile. He has no force saved up as Aim High is on the table, so he will not retrieve anything. So he's only got the 6 cards in his hand, and like I said, we do know that one of them is a Masterful Move combo. He does not play it, and Jeff will retrieve the escape pod, and we're doomed. Jeff going to take a card from his force pile as well. Probably going to be an alien of some sort. One that will help him turn on the Ancient Watering Hole. So now Sergeant Elsk is in play, being that Justin did not fight there. He is in play. He'll be able to be lost to satisfy all remaining battle damage and attrition. So I actually like that because now he can cancel the Destiny from Lando and then just lose 1 character to satisfy everything else. Carl Koenig says that this game is going to go to time. I'm not sure, and I kind of hope not. There's Maz Kanata going down to the guest quarters. Unfortunately, she does not have a species in her game or in her lore. However, she will allow Jeff to reveal top 3 cards of his reserve deck and take an alien into hand. He misses on the Maz pool, though. And he will take a card with Ray off the bottom of his force pile. So again, Jeff is still sitting at 3 aliens of different species on the table. Hark, Seth, Kalthal, Syndros, and Din Djarin. We are still in Jeff's turn. Okay, Cloud City Incinerator coming down. Don't see a lot of that card in QMC. If you occupy during your control phase, may use 3 force to retrieve 1 droid. And then on the flip side, if you control without an Ugnaught, force rate is -1 there. So this is going to give Jeff some options. He can easily just run away, still satisfy the Menace Fades. He can do this with Maz Kanata on the table. He can do this with the 3 cards that are currently at the North Corridor. So we shall see. Again, he does have 11 cards in his force pile, though, so he's got a lot of options still this turn. And Jeff is taking some time. Currently, Jeff is about 4.5 minutes up on time over Justin. So here we go. Ayla Secure and Elros Madak going down. That's going to turn on the Ancient Watering Hole. So for those not familiar with the card, Maz Kanata is immune to attrition. While you have alien characters of 5 different species on the table, your force drains are +1. Your total battle destiny is +1. +2 if if Maz or your rep is in battle. And your aliens are forfeit +1. So right now, Jeff is going to get a +1 to all of his drains on the table. And his total battle destiny is going to be an additional +1. And it looks like he's just moving away. He's going to move Ray, Din, and Lando from the North Corridor all the way over to the Upper Plaza Corridor. Oh no, Ray is going to still move over to the Incinerator. This will allow Jeff to keep Menace Fades in effect. And with Ayla, Elros Madak, Din Djarin, Harkseth, and Kalthal Syndaros all on the table, Ancient Watering Hole is in effect. So here we go with Justin's 5th turn. He will cancel the Cloud City Celebration. Jeff will grab it, keeping it from Justin's deck. The Cloud City Celebration will go lost, and now Justin is going to attempt to try and bury the card by draining at the North Corridor, the West Gallery, the Docking Bay, and Korlag. Jeff's going to lose Yoda, Keeper of the Peace, and Computer Interface, both from his hand.
I couldn't find any device named both fans. Which one do you want?
There goes Yak Skit off the top of his deck. They're tracking us as well. And I believe that Justin still has 1 drain left. Yep, he does. He is not drained at Korlag, so there it is. And there goes a Don't Tread on Me from the top of the reserve deck. Jeff with 4 cards in hand, Justin with 5. Again, Justin is going to check out his destinies. And he does hit on another docking bay. There's the Blockade Flagship docking bay. It is a battleground. Would allow Justin another site to go to, another battleground site, to spread out, drain, do some possible damage. However, again, with that Menace Fades in effect, it's kind of limiting him on what he can and cannot do. As we are currently sitting in Justin's control phase, or I'm sorry, his deploy phase. We just saw him deploy docking bay, so he would be in his deploy phase. Here we go. Officer Evax going down in front of Maz, Ayla, and Elros Madak. Again, he comes down for 3 force. Moff Gideon going down in front of Ray. And Justin knows what is in his deck, so let's see if he goes ahead and pulls a Stormtrooper. Or I believe just a E-Web or Imperial Air Stormtrooper. So yes, it does have to be a Stormtrooper. And there's another barrier from Jeff. So again, Jeff is just looks like he's just going to be he's going to just cycle through those barriers, being that it's not grab. The path of least resistance is on the grabber for Justin. So barrier will be he'll be able to play those barriers all day. Sergeant Barrick going down with Moff Gideon. Justin will go into his move phase. He moves Colonel Wolfularin up with Officer Evax. Really limiting Jeff on what battlegrounds he can go at this point. Again, Jeff has 3 cards in his deck. Now, Jeff will be able to drain for 2 up at Bespin. The Stormtrooper Cadet follows. I would take the over, Carl. Sergeant Elsk moves over with Barrick and Gideon. Justin will be buried a total of 3 times. Ooh, he's already been buried twice. I think he's going to be buried exactly 3 times. And Justin will pass turn after he's done moving. Jeff will use Moscanata to start. He will reveal the top 3 cards of his deck. And it looks like he misses again. So no aliens for Jeff. However, he will be able to pull something from his force pile after he activates with keeping the Empire out forever. And then he's going to be able to drain for 2 up at Bespin and 1 at the non-battleground. Oh, does that have to be Hawaiian? And again, you cannot cancel or modify drains at each Bespin location. It does not have to be a battleground, people. So here we go. Drain for 2 at Bespin. Justin, again with only 3 cards in his hand, will lose the Palpatine, the Galactic Emperor, and Imperial Command off the top of his decks. Here's a drain for 1 at the Upper Plaza Corridor. There goes the Endor landing platform off the top of his deck. Not a terrible card to lose. Gets a 0 off the top for him. And there's another Cloud City celebration coming down for Jeff. Again, Jeff more than happy to grab that Masterful Move combo that Justin used on his last turn to cancel the first celebration, because he knows he has a second one. There's Figurin Dan and the modal nodes coming down in front of Isard. Pretty good character. And Path of Least of Resistance to move Lando over as well. Now he does have to pay 2 for it. Lando joining the modal nodes on Bespin at the West Gallery. He's going to get 2 Battle Destiny here. Lando attempts to shoot Isard. Draws a 4. I believe that will hit our Imperial Icy Heart villain. And now her forfeit is reset down to 0. So we know that Jeff is going to get 2 Battle Destinies here, and his total will be +1. He can also... his first destiny is going to be a 5. His second destiny is going to be a 4. So he's going to have a grand total of 10. Because that is how math works. Justin draws a 2 for his Battle Destiny. Now he can cancel it with the Imperial Enforcement. He will. Deputy Director Isun will go to his hand, and he'll draw a Stormtrooper Cadet for Battle Destiny. So it will be Jeff with power 17 to Justin's power 5. Justin down by 12. No forfeit value on Isard. Does he have the Gick? Yep, Jeff's immune. There's the Gick. Lando and the modal nodes will stick around to fight another day, as Jeff is getting immunity from his objective. While the side up, your Aliens Cloud Car and Independent Starships are immune to attrition less than 4. That's pretty good. And considering that he's got 6 aliens on Bespin and they're all immune to attrition less than 4, things are looking pretty good for Mr. Lavigne. However, this game is still not over yet. Both players have lots of time left on their clock. And now that Justin has a ISB operative in his lost pal, he can actually retrieve one at the during his draw phase. Justin still occupies a battleground system and a battleground site to keep menace phase in effect. And he now has, looks like he has 6 aliens of different species on the table. Ayla Secure, Elros Medak, the modal nodes, Din Djarin, Harksev, and Kalthal Syndros, all on the table, all feeding that ancient watering hole, allowing Jeff to do so much more. And he will move Din Djarin over as well. Ray moves from the incinerator. Now that's a drain -1 site there, so Justin's not going to get any drain through there. He will get a drain of 1 at the guest quarters, drain of 2 at the north corridor, and a drain of 1 at Korlag. There's a drain of 1 at Korlag. There, and there goes an alternative to fighting from his hand. Jeff not worried at all about fighting up in space, it looks like. And I think Justin at this point just wants to simply occupy a battleground system. And there goes the rebel barrier from the top of his reserve deck for Jeff. And let's see, loses a rescue in the cloud and it's a trap as well. I mean, with the fact that Maz Kanata is fully immune to attrition, Ayla Secure is immune less than 4, and then Elros Medaka is immune to less than 4. Oof, that's just crazy. I can see why Tom Haid likes this deck. Somebody teach me how to play it. Okay, we are in Justin's deploy phase. He's got 17 force to work with. Again, all of his characters going down to any of the Cloud City sites will be deploy cost 1, or an additional 1. And Justin currently only has 3 cards in his hand, as he thinks about what he wants to do this turn. He does use his Imperial Rest Order to search out his reserve deck for a docking bay. However, he does not find one. So he is thinking about what he wants to do, taking some time off the clock, however, as he's currently at under or over. There is currently a 6-minute plus difference between our two players. Justin Branch sitting at about 25 minutes. Jeff sitting at over 31 and a half minutes. Life force count right now is Justin Branch sitting at 23. Jeff sitting at 18. So again, this is looking like it is going to be a pretty long game, but it should be definitely an entertaining one. Where we might not see a lot of action, but we're definitely going to see a lot of moving around, dictating the control of the locations, kind of like a chess game. Justin still taking his time, thinking about what he wants to do. So he moves out of his deploy phase and goes straight into his battle phase. I highly doubt he's going to fight with the Emperor. Nope, he's going to move some characters around. The Emperor moves over to the guest quarters. Ozzel moves over to the docking bay. Wolf-Galaren moves over as well. Evax moves over. And there goes the Stormtrooper Cadet. As Justin just slowly moves over his characters, trying to block as much damage as he can while he attempts to try and remove Jeff from occupying a battleground site. Now, this is where you would want to have a second starship of some sort. Unfortunately, if you're Justin, you could only play Imperial starships, whether that's like a Star Destroyer or this Mara Jade in the Decimator, because he is playing Imperial Enforcement. I mean, he can't even play U-3PO in this deck because, unfortunately, Imperial Enforcement says any of your characters, or you can only play Imperial characters. And while U-3PO is an undercover spy for the Empire, unfortunately he is a droid. Justin will retrieve the Isard that went to the lost pile last turn. Excuse me. And here we go, which we have Justin Desai, our 3-time OCS champion, 3-time world champion, and I think he's in the Hall of Fame. And we are still in Justin Branch's draw phase. I assume he is thinking about what he wants to draw, how many cards he wants to take from his force pile. We already seen him draw 2 cards this turn. And there's another Masterful Move combo. So he will cancel the second Cloud City Celebration by stacking the Masterful Move onto Jeff's Grabber. And here we go with Jeff's turn. Jeff hits on the 3rd time to hit Twas-Ka from Maz Kanata. And he'll just activate everything, allowing him to grab any card he wants out of his deck from keeping the Empire out forever. Bill Kafer with the jokes in the chat. And Justin Desai will be facing off against Matt Harrison Trainer. Our 8 and 9 seeds will face off with the winner of either facing Brad Kipple or Chris Werfs. Jeff draining at the West Gallery for 2. He does retrieve the Cloud City Celebration with Figure and Dan and the modal nodes. There goes another Palpatine Galactic Emperor from Justin's hand, as well as Lieutenant Pol Teardom off the top of the deck. Drains for 2 at the Bestman system. There goes a Stormtrooper Garrison and a Stormtrooper Cadet. Those are all the drains for Jeff, but I mean, considering he's doing 4 points of damage, not a bad turn. Jar Jar Binks going down to the Incinerator, upping his species total up to 7 at this point. Maz moves over in front of the Emperor, and I'm assuming that this is what. Yep, I'm assuming that he's going to follow up with Ayla Secure and Elros Medak. And he does. So far in the chat, we've seen Joe Olson and Justin Desai say that Jeff should win this, whereas Bill Kafer says ISB should win this. So will it be a top 8 participant or 2 multiple world champions who are right here? I don't believe it's. Oh, it's you only get the bonus for battlegrounds. But yes, if you're talking about the site bonus, yes, that is a light side. So Menace phase will not turn off that bonus. But Jeff moving Din Djarin over. And we ask for a revert. Will Justin grant the revert? He does. A little anticlimactic there. We do get a thank you, so good sportsmanship. So again, we are back into Jeff's move phase. He's currently thinking about what he wants to do here. Justin looking like, again, I think the chat pointed out, looking like he'll be able to do 4 points of damage. However, we know that Jeff retrieved the Cloud City Celebration. He's got Figure and Dan and the modal nodes on the table. So he's got retrieval. Now, on the flip side, Justin does as well. So if you're looking for a grindy matchup, this is it. Jeff says he'll do it after all. So Din Djarin does move over in front of the 3 Biker Scout Troopers and Moff Gideon. Lando joins the fun as well. And Figure and Dan moves over. So Ray and Jar Jar Binks are keeping the Incinerator as the lone battleground site for Jeff Lavigne. Justin Branch will be doing 3 points of... I'm sorry, he'll be doing 4 points of damage on his turn. Drainet Core Log, the Docking Bay, and the North Corridor. Jeff, however, takes a card from his force pile. I'm thinking it's going to be a win for by 3. Now, that depends. If Jeff is able to get out the Cloud City Cloud City Celebration that he retrieved, I do think it might increase a little bit. There goes Luke Skywalker, the Last Jedi, from Jeff's hand to the Drainet Core Log. Justin drains at the Docking Bay. There goes Kira. And Justin will drain at the North Corridor. And there's it could be worse to reduce it by 2. So Jeff only loses 2 cards that turn, and he puts a card back into his deck. Justin did save 2 cards in his reserve deck. However, it could have just been that he activated everything. But we'll see. Yes, where's the it's worse? That would be insane. And I would be happy to see it. Now, granted, as a commentator, I have no skin in this game. And I will not reveal who I picked on my bracket contest, which the bracket contest, if you are participating in it, I believe we had up to 26 people. Winner will receive a Star Wars Death Star playmat. And then second and third will receive a gold pack and a green pack of AI cards as well. I'm not determined. I will not release to the public who I picked. I will say their first name starts with a J. Okay, so we did see that Justin again looked at his 2 Destiny cards. Jeff was able to see them as well. Neither of them saying what those cards are. So what if we see a battle, you'll be surprised just as I will be. Jeff has a lot of tricks, like it looks like. He does have 3 cards saved. We see that he does play It's a Trap. He has Barrier is still available to him. The card that is currently on Justin's grabber is Path of Least Resistance. And Justin is thinking about what he wants to do. He's eating up a little bit of clock here, as he is now. There is over 8 minutes between our 2 players. Jeff Lavigne showing drains of 2 and 2 on his next turn, while retrieving 1. So both players are doing exactly the same amount of damage and retrieving the exact same amount of. So we shall see. But right now, if you're looking at the board state, I mean, somebody's going to have to budge. I think that Justin has to do something more than Jeff. That is a good question. Let me. I will actually ask that question to our tournament director and tournament advocate, Chris Chonton. As soon as I have an answer, I will let everyone know. He's already retrieved 1 celebration. I don't want to bring up too many different screens, Jared. I only have 2 monitors here. But I believe it is posted on the forum. And we do have a representative of the tournament committee in the chat, Bill Kafer, who's also on design. So if you have any issues with any of the cards in design, send them to Bill. Justin currently moving around all the characters on the field, trying to take as many battleground locations as he can. Now, one thing I don't like about what Justin did this turn is he separated Tarkin from an ISB agent. So Tarkin will not be able to cancel any Destiny. Okay, so there we have our answer, everyone. If a timeout occurs, whoever is not timed out during game 1 will win the game with their hand total and their life total. And yes, he can react with the Stormtrooper patrol. May deploy. No, he can only. He cannot. He only deploys as a react. So he could theoretically deploy as a react if he has one in his hand. However, he cannot move it as react. So I think that is what Tom said or he meant. But yes, Bill Kafer in the chat pointed out that Point Man V could move a trooper. Interesting. Sergeant Elsk moves over to block the West Gallery. So Justin has characters at each site at this point. And it looks like he's going to give up the non-battleground. So Jeff is going to be doing 3 points of damage this turn. And a big thank you to Chris Schoenthal for subscribing for 8 months. Again, just for subscribing to the PC Twitch channel, you'll receive different foils of Star Wars CCG cards. A lot of them are really great. Idea Track also, thank you for subscribing for 22 months. Yes, that is a good point from Bill. Jar Jar Binks has the potential to blow out Tarkin. During battle, may use one force to target one opponent's character present. Both players draw Destiny. If your Destiny +2 is greater than opponent's Destiny and target's ability, Jar Jar and target are lost. Now, interesting to note that we see that Jeff activated everything. However, he can always recirculate once per game with the modal nodes. Jeff drains for 2 at Bespin. Justin loses Cold Feet and Dark Collaboration V. Drains for 1 at the non-battleground as Justin will lose Lieutenant Pol Tierdum. I believe he can. It's any Destiny. During battle, if present with 2 ISB agents, may cancel an opponent's just drawn Destiny. So yes, he can cancel the Jar Jar Destiny. There's the Cloud City celebration right after Jeff retrieves Kira. So now Jeff's going to get a lot more retrieval. And there's there's Leia, Rebel Princess, the Bane of Kendall Holman. If only Justin was playing the best dark side effect to cancel her ability to cancel drains. Twas Ka going down to the Blockade Flagship Docking Bay. Milos going down to the Korlayak Spaceport Docking Bay. Jeff spreading out here. Now, the only thing is, I believe Justin will be able to cancel either of those drains with strategic reserves. However, Justin Desai in the chat is saying GG. I'm going to assume that is in favor of Jeff Lavigne beating Justin Branch in Game 1. Bill agreeing with Justin, I believe. I thought it was only at Bespin locations. So you can cancel at the Spaceport Docking Bay and the Blockade Flagship Docking Bay. Jeff's again moving around he's going to start moving around his characters. And the other thing is, even though Justin occupies a lot of Cloud City, going down with Milos and Twas Kaz at 2 different locations, Menace Fates is going to be in fact in all game. Life totals, Justin Branch sitting at 16 with 3 in hand. Jeff Labine sitting at 14 and with 3 in hand. Jeff moving Dinjar, Lando, Figuerendan over to the North Corridor in front of the Stormtrooper Patrol and Deputy Director Eyes On. Ray and Jar Jar Binks move over to the Upper Plaza. So Jeff is threatening a lot of damage next turn, as well as retrieving 3 cards. Jeff threatening, I believe, 7 points of damage while retrieving 3. Justin currently going to be draining for 2. Oof. Okay, Justin does activate everything. And later on this evening at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, we'll have Game 1 of Tom Struther versus Gavin Ortland. And then following that game, we'll have Game 2. Justin goes to drain at the docking bay. However, Jeff cancels it with Leia Rebel Princess. And then he'll just lose the Luke Skywalker that he retrieves, or essentially put back with Leia, to the drain at Corlog. Oh, and Justin drains at the incinerator. Jeff cancels that drain with Leia Rebel Princess, and he's now used his 2 turnoffs that he's able to. He uses 1 on a drain of 0. So I do think if... No, he did. Oh, no, you are right. I'm sorry. Yeah, he did cancel. Okay, so he canceled the West Gallery. I'm sorry. Even so, he does cancel. He does use Leia. And now Justin's just going to move his characters around, retrieve an ISB agent. I do think at some point he's going to need to get some more cards in his hand because he's not... Unfortunately, he's not doing a lot. And I don't believe he can. I don't think... Yeah, the new Emperor cannot docking bay transit. So both those drains will be still a drain of 1 and 1. Again, he could cancel them with the strategic reserves, though. So we have a lot of we have a lot of Biker Scout Troopers, a Stormtrooper Cadet, and Colonel Wolf-Yularen at the guest quarters. Moff Gideon staring down the incinerator. Wolf-Yularen moves over to the West Gallery. Interesting. Go into Justin's draw phase. He will retrieve. This tells me that he either has a Stormtrooper Patrol or another Gek in his hand. He will retrieve Lieutenant Poltierdom, and he's going to draw a few. Now, I believe he will be able to, if he does have a Stormtrooper Patrol in his hand, he could cancel a drain with the strategic reserves and then deploy the patrol down with Colonel Wolf-Yularen if he needs to. So let's see what Jeff is going to do. Again, Jeff is threatening 7 points of damage this turn while retrieving 3. I think Jeff by more, but that's just me. Well, but either way, thank you for tuning in, Idea Track. It is always a pleasure to have you on. Glad to see you tuning in today. Again, but definitely going to have lots more OCS coverage. coming up. It's going to be a pretty busy week. I believe we have some games going on tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, and then we'll be wrapping up some of the games on next Monday as well. I think the only match that we don't have scheduled is the Matt Harrison trainer versus Justin Desai. Jeff will drain at the blockade flagship. Justin will cancel it with the strategic reserves. But make sure you guys stay tuned to the forums to see all the complete schedule of the OCS playoffs. There's drain of 2 at Corlag. Now, I know Justin Branch is a good player. I'm wondering if he forgot that the modal nodes can recirculate once per game. He might be thinking that because Jeff doesn't have a reserve deck, he won't be able to get any Destiny, but we shall see. There goes Wolfgaren from his hand, as well as Tarkin. And that was the drain at the Spaceport Docking Bay. There's a drain of 1 at the Upper Plaza Corridor. There goes Lieutenant Polteridum off the top. And a drain for 2 at Bespin. There goes Isard and Lieutenant Deirdre. She's a good card. Jeff will take a card out of his force pile with keeping the Empire out forever. Whether that's going to be an alien or I'm sorry, whether it's a character, maybe it's another path of the least resistance. But I do believe that Colonel Wolfgaren has a target on him at this point. Either way, Justin is only going to be doing 3 points of damage next turn. And Jeff is currently retrieving 3, so it doesn't look like Justin's really doing any damage. Okay, Lando will move during the control phase. So on top of him occupying the West Gallery, that gives Jeff another place to retrieve with. So he will pay 3 to move Lando over, and then he'll pay an additional 3 to retrieve the Cloud City Celebration, bringing his life total up to 16. Justin currently sitting at 11 in life force. Dash Rendar coming down, so Jeff does not retrieve with the modal nodes, but he does recirculate with them. Justin does have the 4 force saved in his force pile to deploy the Stormtrooper Patrol to Cloud City. However, Jeff is going to be getting 2 Destiny here, so here we go. We have a fight. Stormtrooper Patrol off the strategic reserves down to the West Gallery. But Jeff has the Rebel Barrier for the 3rd time, barriers the Stormtrooper Patrol, leaving Colonel Wolfgaren by himself. Justin thinking about something here. Jeff thinking about what he should do, actually. I'm sorry. Action is on Jeff. He's currently up 6-1 in power with 2 Battle Destiny. A shot from Lando. Lando will take aim at Colonel Wolfgaren. He only has a defense value of 2, so drawing a 3 plus the 1 from the gun will hit Colonel Wolfgaren, making him forfeit 0. action now is on Justin, and here we go to battle listening. Jeff draws a 4 for the first one. Again, he is getting a total of +1 here, and he draws a 5 for the second one, bringing his total up to 10. Justin will be down by 15 unless he has a gick. That's over. He looks like he does not. So he will be peeling cards. He does not have the life force to get out of this battle. So Jeff Lavigne's going to take game 1 by 17. Jeff with 17 in life force, 8 in loss pile. Justin with 28 in his loss pile. So well done by Jeff. Again, so game 2 will not be, game 2 for these two players will be this Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern. If you're looking for more Star Wars action tonight, Tom versus Gavin will occur at 11 p.m. Eastern with game 1. Game 2 will follow immediately afterwards. Tomorrow, we're going to have game 1 and game 2 of Brad Kipple versus Chris Werfs at 7 p.m. Eastern. Thursday, we have Sam Tashima versus Bill Pittman at 10 a.m. or 10:30 a.m. Eastern. We also have Drew Lichtenstein versus Mike Pistone at 8 p.m. Eastern this Thursday. I will be streaming that one. Garrett will be streaming the Sam versus Bill. And then on Thursday as well, Taco Bill Kafer will be streaming game 1 of Joe Olsen versus Timo Dussel. So that's all we got for right now, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. You might be seeing me at 11 p.m. If not, you'll be seeing, I believe it might be Chris Schoenthal. Until then, everybody take care, enjoy yourselves, and make sure you guys tune in for the rest of this OCS Championship. It's definitely going to be fun. So, take care. Oh, yep, Chris is going to be doing game 2. I'm going to be covering game 1. So, we have both games covered. Until 11 p.m., everybody take care, enjoy yourselves, and may the force be with you. Good night, everybody.